Good morning, everyone. Let us start with day 26 of our regular SAP FICO session. The topic that we'll cover today is document splitting. Before we start with the concept of document splitting, let us first try to understand the meaning of profit center. Profit center means the revenue generating unit or a business line. It holds both the cost and revenue, whereas the cost center holds only the cost. That's the major difference between the cost center and profit center. Coming to the type of document splitting, we have three types: active, passive, and zero balance. Active document splitting means within a journal entry, if one of the line item has profit center, the other line derives the profit center from the line having the profit center. Passive document splitting means the journal entry which is currently processed derives the profit center from the connected journal entry. As an example, during the payment journal entry gets the profit center from the invoice which is being paid. Next is the zero balance document splitting. Zero balance document splitting means to balance the journal entry at the profit center level, additional lines are created, and this process is called the zero balance document splitting. Let us take an example of each: active, passive, zero balance. In the zero balance, let's say I am booking the journal entry like this: rent account debit to bank account. I am putting the profit center 1 in line 1 and profit center 2 in line 2. This is my entry view. What the system will do with the zero balance document splitting in the GL view is rent debit PC1, zero balance clearing credit for PC1, bank credit for PC2, and zero balance clearing debit for PC2. In this way, when you check the PC1, profit center 1, debit 100 and credit 100 will be 0 at the level of PC1. Similarly, when you see for the report for PC2, plus 100, no, minus 100 and plus 100, at the level of PC2 also the balance is 0 in this particular journal entry. And of course, this total journal entry may relate to RCII. So if we do the total at the level of company code also it is 0, and at the level of profit center also it is 0. So document splitting facilitates zero balance at the level of profit center in any journal entry that is being posted, especially in the GL view, because it is not necessary in the entry view that every line should have a profit center, which the system automatically does in the GL view. Coming to the next example of passive splitting, let's say I have a expense debit and bank credit. In the expense life we have a cost center 1. This cost center has a profit center. Cost center when it is created, profit center is assigned to it. So when we assign the cost center, the profit center is derived. let's say PC1, and we do not put any cost center or profit center in the bank line. This is my entry view. What happens to this invoice entry in the ZL view? In the ZL view, what happens? The expense becomes debit, banks becomes credit. It has a cost center 1 and profit center derived from the cost center as PC1, and the bank takes the profit center from line 1. This also explains active document splitting. This is the example of active document splitting, that is line which does not have a profit center. In this example, the bank derives the profit center from the line having the profit center, that is the expense. So this is the example of active document splitting. Expanding this example, now let's say I am making a payment. So when I make the payment, entry is, sorry, let me put the vendor here, as in this is a credit entry. When I am making the payment, then the entry will be vendor debit, bank credit. We do not put any profit center. Profit center, I am not putting anything, but the system will derive the profit center from the invoice that is being paid. So we are paying this particular invoice wherein the profit center is PC1. So with this, now we must be able to understand that within a journal entry, if the profit center is derived from the line having profit center, this is called active splitting. In the next journal entry, which is connected to the original journal entry, the next journal entry derives the profit center from the original journal entry. This is called passive journal entry. In the zero balance, in the entry view, all the line items have profit center, but the journal entry is not balanced at the profit center level. So the additional lines are created for balancing the journal entry at the profit center level. This process is called the zero balance clearing or the zero balance document splitting functionality. Now let us try to understand some of the further concepts about the document splitting. Number one, there is always a requirement to generate the financial statement at the company code level. However, there may be a requirement to generate the financial statements, which is nothing but the trial balance, balance sheet, P&L at the profit center level as well. So in order to draw the trial balance at the profit center level, it is must that all the lines in the journal entry should have profit center, and the journal entry should be balanced at the profit center level that we have seen in our three types of document splitting. The next is, if the journal entry is balanced at the profit center level, ultimately the trial balance will also be balanced at the profit center level along with the company code level. We also understood that the journal entry has two views, entry view and the ZL view. Entry view is nothing but the view that we create while posting the journal entry, and the ZL view is nothing but the view that is automatically created by the system wherein the document splitting happens or the sub ledger is shown as the main ledger. So these are some of the additional explanation of the document splitting. Now we have some steps to configure the document splitting. Those are 4 steps, which are nothing but classifying the document types for document splitting, setting the zero balance clearing account, setting the splitting structures or splitting characteristics, and then activating the document splitting. In S4 HANA, the document splitting is activated by default for all the company codes, and if for any company code it is required to be deactivated, we can deactivate that. So in the splitting characteristics, we will set profit center, and we will make profit center mandatory for each and every journal entry, so that when we draw the trial balance, it is balanced at the profit center level as well. We will activate the document splitting. We will create one GL account for zero balance clearing, and we will classify some of the basic document types for document splitting: SA, KR, KZ, DR, DZ, ZP, ZR. These document types we will classify for document splitting. Also, we have the next step is to assign item category to the GL account, wherein we specify a particular GL is a expense or income or balance sheet GL. Among that also there are few sub classification which we will see when practically configuring the system. So this is part 1, wherein we have understood the theoretical concepts about the document splitting, wherein we saw these are the 5 steps to configure the document splitting. We understood the meaning of profit center, compared it with the definition of the cost center, and tried to understand the differences. We understood the GL view, entry view, drawing financial statement at the profit center level and company code level. We understood 3 types of document splitting: active, passive, and zero balance. We understood by posting the journal entries and creating practical examples. We will continue with part 2, where we will practically configure the document splitting configuration. For now, I am closing the session here. We'll meet again tomorrow. Thank you.